Okay, so there are three pretty good gauges to be able to decipher and figure out if it's your ego calling the shots or if it's your inner knowing speaking to you and telling you what to do. Before we do that, I got to get this out of the way. There's my cat. There's my tat. There's my tats and cat shirt. If you are into mindfulness, spiritual growth, and development, in a not too woo-woo, more practical, kind of down-to-earth sort of way, please subscribe to my channel. It is relatively new. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment below on this video or tell me what videos you'd like to see me cover. So this is something I've been sort of struggling with a lot lately. I'm making a lot of changes in my life, and I noticed my ego is freaking out a little bit. Okay, my ego's freaking out a lot. It's feeling like it's losing control. The puppet master is suddenly noticing that the strings to the puppet, me, are being cut, and the ego is just pulling out all the stops, trying to get me back on track and follow its orders. Now, as that's happening, I'm also hearing a lot of other things in my brain, and I had attributed that voice in my head to the ego, and I realized that's not the complete way to look at it. Yes, there's the ego yammering away, trying to protect itself, usually spewing negativity, but then there's another voice, which is your intuition or your higher self or your inner knowing. How do you figure out the difference? Huh, Gus? He doesn't care. He's a cat. Now he cares. Go away. Want a kiss? Okay. Okay, go away. Ego versus intuition. So the three questions I've come up with to ask myself when I'm trying to figure out who's in control of me or who's trying to be in control of me. The questions are, does this choice or action feed my spirit or drain my energy? Number two, does that inner voice sound like a grown-up or sound like a child? And number three, does it feel easy versus does it feel natural? Those are two different things, and we'll get into that as we break this whole thing down. So the number one question to ask yourself when you're trying to figure out who's the boss of you, the ego or the inner voice, does it feed my spirit or does it drain my energy? And I don't mean in the instant, like, yeah, going out on this date with this person is definitely going to feed my spirit. Having this drink is definitely going to feed my spirit. Taking this job is going to feed my spirit. Whatever the thing is, I don't mean in the short-term instant gratification way. Is it going to feed your spirit? I'm talking long-term. Is taking this job long-term going to continuously or at least steadily feed your spirit? Or are you going to have a momentary ego boost followed by a steady decline of energy? It's like when you have sugar. Usually when you know you're making an ego-based decision, it's actually exactly like sugar. There's a momentary payoff, which is great. There's a high, there's a rush, you feel good, you get the reward immediately, and then it sort of crashes and burns. So again, question, whatever choice it is, whatever situation, whatever action you're debating, if it's going to drain your energy in the long term, that's your ego speaking. If it's going to feed your spirit consistently, that's your inner voice talking. Number two, does that inner voice sound like a grown-up or a sort of needy, demanding child? Speaking of, hello, needy, demanding child. Your ego is going to sound more like I want, I need, give me, like a toddler, like a 2-year-old. And when your ego is making the decisions, it doesn't want to give you time to actually ponder them and think about them. It wants it's tempting you. It's like Eve with the apple, and it just wants you to buy into it real quick, whatever it is. On the other hand, when it's your inner voice speaking, it's from a more calm, centered, not demanding place. And it doesn't shout, and it doesn't throw a temper tantrum. It just kind of talks to you very calmly, almost with no emotion, and just speaks truth. Quiet, mature, unemotional speaking, most likely inner self, inner voice, intuition. Demanding, needy, loud, insistent, generally your ego. And the number 3 question to ask yourself when you're trying to decipher, is this my ego talking or is this my intuition talking? Does it feel easy versus does it feel natural? And those are 2 completely different things. So is it easy? Your ego will always want you to take the easy route, the path of least resistance, the one that's going to give you short-term, immediate gratification. On the other hand, the inner voice doesn't feel easy necessarily, but it feels natural. It feels like it's the right thing to do. And it feels like if you do it, you may not feel great initially, but you will reap longer-term, greater results. So there you go. The 3 questions to ask yourself when you're trying to decide, is my ego speaking to me right now, or is my inner voice speaking to me right now? I just figured something out. That's where this came from. We're geniuses. We're such a good team. Bonus. See, you didn't expect to figure that out during this video, did you? Anyway, let me know if there are ways you kind of decipher for yourself, whether it's your inner voice talking, your higher power, your intuition, or whether it's your ego talking. Also, let me know if you have any questions about this or topics for other videos. Please also subscribe to my channel. It's new, just getting off the ground. And that is it. Have a good day. I don't know why I did this. This doesn't feel... Namaste? No, it doesn't. No. Subscribe to the blog, amaximizedlife.com, 2 X's. On YouTube, A Maximized Life. On Instagram, it's a.maximizedlife. And on Twitter, @DJ Melissa.